or demand for highway transportation fuel in Nigeria? Policy implication. So one of the main challenges that have been facing Nigeria since 1970s has been how to meet the demand for highway transportation fuel. And when we say highway transport fuel, it refers to gasoline, otherwise what you know as fuel, and diesel. So because of the increase in population and economic growth, the demand for fuel has increased tremendously since 1970 up to this moment. So in order to solve this strategy, in order to solve this problem, government adopted several strategies. Number one, the main strategy is to make enough supply that will meet the demand based on the estimated or forecasted nation's demand. But it has been discovered that despite all these efforts to meet discovered that the cause of this scarcity is because of inaccurate prediction of fuel demand in Nigeria. For example, when the Port Harcourt second refinery was built, it increased Nigeria's refining capacity to 450,000 barrels of fuel per day. Nigeria told the whole world that with this, that Nigeria can meet all their demands, and that the nation will have excess which they will now export to other countries. But 4 years after this refinery was established, Nigeria began to experience severe fuel scarcity. So which means that the future demand of fuel or the forecasted demand of fuel is not well known. So it has become a problem. So whatever has been the basis for determining the fuel demand in Nigeria has been a problem because it was based on wrong forecast. So that's the aim of this paper. The aim of this paper is to examine the nation's future demand for road transport fuel with a view to enhancing measures towards formulating appropriate policy for proper forecasting of fuel in Nigeria. So in the literature review, it was divided into three categories. Number one is taking a look at the issue from global perspective. Second one is from African perspective and from Nigerian perspective. Based on global perspective, he at 2008 found that there will be a gap of 2 million tons. There will be a gap of 2 million tons of fuel between demand and supply in China as from 2019. That is, that by 2019, that there will be a shortfall in demand of 20 million tons of fuel. From Africa, Anna and 2015 predicted that there will be exponential growth in future fuel demand in Ghana. When it comes to Nigerian perspective, a lot of studies have been done, like Nwachu and about 2010, Adebulugbe and the Bio 1986, Jaja 2010, and Onwodiko and Adeleka 2000. They all found that fuel price, vehicle population, fuel purchasing time, economic growth, urbanization, and fuel subsidy derives the demand for fuel in Nigeria. So in this research, we want to make a contribution. The contribution of this research is to develop efforts aimed at appropriate forecasts of fuel in Nigeria. So data were collected from both secondary and the primary data. The sampling technique used was a stratified sampling technique. 3,800 questionnaires were shared in 4 major cities in Nigeria. Then 2,713 were returned. We are returned, represents 71.3%. Then I use simple linear regression to test the research hypothesis, which is to determine whether there is significant relationship between the actual consumption of fuel and the expected fuel demand in Nigeria's road transport system. So the result shows that there's 76.8% relationship between actual fuel consumed and the future fuel consumption. So the implication is that there's a shortfall, that what we are consuming in Nigeria now represents 76.8% of the future demand of what we actually need to meet the nation's demand, which means that there's a shortfall. Then when the study was broken down into four cities like Enugu, Abuja, Lagos, and Kano, they also shows similar pattern. Enugu shows a relationship of 92.2%, indicating a shortfall. Abuja shows 56%, indicating a very serious shortfall. Then Lagos showed 35.2%, whereas Kano showed 53.7%. The implication of this is that there are shortfalls. In terms of what? In terms of meeting the fuel demand. That the fuel that are being supplied and that are being consumed in these cities are not adequate to meet what? Their demand. That, for example, in the whole of Nigeria, that Nigeria is being undersupplied by 23.2%. That is, the undersupply of fuel in Nigeria is 23.2%. For Enugu, for Lagos, Kano, Abuja, and Enugu, the shortfall in the supply is 64.8%, 46.8%, 43.8%, and 7.2% respectively. So which means Lagos has the highest shortfall in supply, followed by Kano, Abuja, and Enugu. So that's why we are expressing different levels of fuel scarcity in these cities. So the implication is that fuel demands are yet to match consumption in the four selected cities. Lagos had the highest shortfall, like I said earlier, and it was followed by these various cities. So this poses serious policy implication for the nation. The policy implication is that nations should develop appropriate policy that will meet fuel demand in various regions of Nigeria. Each region of Nigeria has their own level of fuel scarcity. They have their own level of fuel demand. So government should formulate policy that will be able to meet the fuel demand in these various regions: southeast, southwest, northeast, and others, so that the perennial fuel scarcity that are being experienced in Nigeria will be a thing of the past. So, recommendation: there is need to ensure that the demand of fuel is met in all areas of Nigeria, especially in Lagos, because Lagos is the economic nerve center of Nigeria. Then Kano also is a very important center, as well as Abuja. Government should build refineries. Government should build refineries in these regions to meet fuel demand. They should not only rely on refineries in this part in southeast. They should build refineries in these regions to meet, especially in Lagos, to meet fuel demand. Of course, something is already happening in Lagos. Dangote is building the largest refinery in the whole world. Largest refinery in the world is being built in Lekki, Lagos. By the time this refinery comes into operation, I think the fuel scarcity problem in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria will be a thing of the past. So, government should make efforts to encourage private sectors to build refineries and depots, because we have seen that government cannot manage refineries. Most of the refineries owned by government are not working effectively. Some of them are closed down. So they are still for government to encourage private sector to build refineries. This will help to make Nigeria self-sufficient in terms of fuel production. So based on this, if these recommendations are put in place, the first scarcity problem that has been Nigeria's problem since 1970 will be a thing of the past. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.